What is going on, guys? Welcome to Test This Tech, and I wanted to do a review here just on my thoughts so far of the Ayaneo Pocket Air Mini. Now, for full disclosure, I purchased this device, this specific device, with my own money. I ordered this through Acnes, and I will say from the jump, Ayaneo, you guys should probably use Acnes a lot more. I received this from China in about a week, which is pretty incredible. I've never received anything so quick, it coming from China directly. So shout out to Acnes. And I got the retro power color, so it's got those grayish tint, grayish tint triggers here. So first I want to talk about the design of this, right? And then comparing it with the Mamie Air X. Whoever designs these Ayaneo devices, they know what they're doing. This is a very attractive device, very attractive. I love the divot, you know, in the sections where the buttons are capable. It just looks really sleek, you know. The screen, as far as for like how the screen is, I think the screen is fine. You know, Joey from Retro Handheld, shout out to Joey. He said there's a bunch of ghosting on it, which is probably true, but for me, just playing the device, I haven't really seen anything that has been, in particular, a huge issue or where I'm really not able to play the device and enjoy it. I think the screen is fine. You know, it's a weird aspect ratio because there are certain games that it kind of creates a 16:9 because it's supposed to be a 4:3, but the resolution or the resolution is different. Starting through Game Hub. That's how I found that out. But yeah, as far as for the screen, it's nice. The D-pad is nice. The analog sticks are fine, and then they have these are the caps, so you can remove them and put different caps on there that you would like. Talking about the software for this, the iSpace software, I like it as far as for from a performance perspective. I have this on gaming for some reason. I do like it for that. I think the fan is actually better on here than the Mamie Air X. I feel like the fan for the Mamie Air X, it does the job pretty much, but there's sometimes where like I'll have the fan off, and sometimes it'll just turn on and then turn off sometimes. So I'm like, what's going on with the fan here? But this fan is pretty consistent, you know, and even going up to a pretty high aspect, like going into max, you can hear probably how loud that is, but it's a little quieter actually than I would say the Mamie Air X. And the speakers are actually pretty good on this, even though they're bottom firing. They're pretty loud. So you will hear the sound over the fan. You will hear the fan still, but it won't be as if you are competing sonically with the fan to the gameplay. For example, the RG557, you could barely hear the game audio over the fan, which to me is a problem, right? If the fan is that loud, you know, that's a problem. So yeah, the 557 fan way louder. But back to the Air X as far as for comparison. The buttons for the start and select, I kind of don't like them like this. I wish it was just, you know, start and select like how a lot of the devices are when it comes to like Retroid, for example. The triggers are really nice. I actually really like these triggers a lot. You know, really nice responsiveness. Yeah, very nice. And then you have these buttons, which are kind of confusing. I've gone into like the main window when I didn't want to go into the main window, and then I had to figure out what the hell was going on. So this is like your home button. It's funny because it feels like this would be the home button, but it's not. That goes to the iSpace stuff. But overall, it's fine. A lot of people don't like the iSpace software. It's not as annoying as I thought it would be, right? But yeah, I think as far as for what this really shines, well, there's two things I was going to shine on. I'm going to do the gameplay video. The first thing it shines in, I think, is Android gaming so far. When I've been playing certain games, it's a pretty nice experience. You know, playing Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, I was doing a little bit of that. I was playing Hollow Knight, and I downloaded some more games to show you guys for my gameplay video, but it's a pretty nice experience. You know, obviously there is a way where you may have to do input mapping for certain games, but there is a way that you can do it. It's a little confusing on this for when you do the input mapping. I wish it was a little easier to do. I feel like for the input mapping, it's a lot easier to do on the Mamie stock OS, but the Mamie stock OS, I feel like it was a little more bloated. Even though it was fairly stripped down, it felt a little bloated. This seems clean. It seems a lot cleaner, but as far as for the input mapping, I think it's a little easier on the Mamie RX. But you can do input mapping on here, which is the most important thing. Can you do it? You can do it. So I really dig the performance options. I really like the performance overlay. This is great, right? This is really great. It gives you everything you need. And if you want to go into even more detail, you can go to the detail one where it shows all the cores and everything, where, you know, generally speaking, you don't really need to do that, but you have the option to do that, and I appreciate that. There's the custom option for the fan mode, so you can dive into that, but the performance option on here is actually really solid. So retro gaming is where this thing shines, obviously. So, you know, playing your PS2 games, PS1 games. I was playing a little bit of GameCube. There's a little bit of finessing you have to do with some PS2 stuff. It will not play all PS2. It's not necessarily a PS2 device, but you can get away with playing some PS2. So, for example, Fight Night Round 3 will run on this, which I was very surprised that it will. But I did have to do a lot of finagling within the software. For example, I had to go into, you know, the Nether SX2 settings, and I set it was for underclocking, but I did 130% for the one that says the E cycle rate, and then the other section below it was 0. But I basically had it where it was like averaging 50-60 frames per second, and there wasn't any like shaders flickering or anything like that. I had it at a pretty good frame. And it was playing really well. I did have to have this on gaming mode as far as for the iSpace software. I think I had it at gaming. But I was able to play some matches of Fight Night Round 3, you know, and full speed, right? Full speed. So pretty awesome. That was pretty awesome to see. But yeah, there are some limitations, like Metal Gear Solid Sons of Liberty does not run. It runs, but it's very slow. It's not full speed by any means. It's probably 30-40% speed. So it just can't do it. But Metal Gear Solid Sons of Liberty is a beast device, or a beast game to run. So understandable. I haven't tried Burnout Revenge yet. I think I could get away with it. But yeah, your Android games will work. Or at least quite a bit of them will. Destiny Rising will not work on here. It doesn't even pull up. Red Dead Redemption does not even pull up on here. But as far as like on the go type stuff, let's try to find my case. On the go stuff, for just like some games to play in particular, you know, if you're in a car ride, airplane ride, or whatnot, this is a pretty decent traveling option. One thing I wanted to show is that this is my case from my Ambernet case, originally from my RG477V. No. This is from my RG40XXV. But I can put this within this, right? And it fits. So I can protect the device, and I don't have to buy a whole other case, which is very nice. You know, I was trying to find a case specifically for this, but luckily this fits. So if you have a case for your RG40XXV lying around, or for your vertical, it may very well fit this. One thing to be noted on the screen that I forgot to mention: when you get the device, it does come with a screen protector. I would recommend taking it off, just because it attracts fingerprints quite a bit. Even when you're wiping it down with a screen protector, or not a screen protector, with a screen cloth. So, and it's really hard to keep those fingerprints off of that screen protector. So I would just take it off entirely. I did my open box or unboxing, and I was like, oh cool, comes with a screen protector. And then as I was using it, I said, oh man, I gotta take that screen protector off. So if you do get one, you know, get a tempered glass one, really nice tempered glass one, where you can still wipe it down, won't have any issues when it comes to that. But yeah, I actually really like this. And if you can get it for $100, you know, even a little bit below, I think it's definite steal. It's a solid device. You know, this is my first Ayaneo handheld, and I know obviously they're a lot of people aren't fans of them because of the stuff that they were doing when it comes to the Indiegogo campaign. Completely valid, and just for, you know, just to show, you know, for me, I ordered this through Acnes, right? I didn't order this through Ayaneo directly. But we'll see. I mean, they just announced the Pocket S Mini. So we'll see what happens there. But again, I won't make this video too long. Test this tech. Catch you guys next video. Thanks a lot.